was even beyond that, there was some fun spots in this show throughout AEW Dynamite, and I've got it up right here behind us. The Kenny Omega segment, when he is leaning in to, so I mean, let's rewind and tell the whole story. I mean, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston give that amazing promo to explain what happened. And I mean, this felt like, I mean, I've sat across from two dudes like this who are ready to kill somebody, maybe irrationally, drinking, getting drunk, and just like, no, man, I come from fucking hard times. You know what I mean? Like, this was great. This was great. And then we flash forward to Eddie Kingston trying to stand up for himself, which he always does. You know, as all the guys are making fun of him. I love it. He comes out, he's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many. He was like, yeah, fuck it. And he just comes in anyway. I loved all this. And then, I mean, culminating in the 69 me, right? Like, Kenny Omega
69 me, Don. Yeah, 69 me, Don. What? What? Side note, too.
Yeah.
Side note. I said this on our Twitter page, @TableShow. Kenny Omega, the most fashion-forward pro wrestler in all of wrestling right now. He's looking like he's going down the runways of Milan right now with those boots and those shirts and that hairdo. I wish I could.
Yeah, right.
If I look like Kenny Omega, I'm wearing crazier shit than that. I'm not even wearing clothes some days. Like, fucking, you know what I'm saying? I look like this? No, fuck, that'd be great. I look like a fucking, loaf of bread over here. Look at that guy. Right. It looks like a goddamn Coke machine action figure. But yeah, 69 me, Don, when they make fun of him. Oh, because I don't think that was planned. Because initially he said north-south. Get on me north-south. And I don't think Don Callis knows what that position means because I don't think he's ever really wrestled. And then so he says 69 me, Don. 69 me, Don. What a great... Yeah. God, AEW, say what you want. There have been some misses. We talked about some of them, but as a whole, it's the most fun I've had watching pro wrestling.
Anytime in pro wrestling history, when we watch WWE in some of their best times, you'll find misses. All right, I mean, there's the fucking hand. There's the, there's all kinds of stuff.
For every Stone Cold versus The Rock, there was a Beaver Cleaver trying to fuck his mom's angle that they did too. So. Yeah, there was a nail. Yeah, there was a.
For every rock, there was a nails. You know what I mean?
That could be. What I mean? That could be that could be the title of the episode. All right, so that was AEW. Tim, did you have anything else that you want to talk about before we move on?
I don't think so. Everything. You're right. AEW left me smiling big time this week.
Yeah, so let's move into. Let's actually. Do you want to go into the Impact story real quick?
Yeah, we got to discuss that, right? So Impact Wrestling happens, right? I wouldn't say there's a whole lot to write home about. Nothing terrible, crazy stuff going on, but Moose and Rich Swann are in this feud, and they both got these titles. They just reinstated the old TNA title, and now it was Scott D'Amore announces, no, you two are going to wrestle. We're going to unify these, right? Yeah, Revolution, I think is what do they call their? It's not Revolution. It's fucking.
I don't know. Sacrifice.
Is it Sacrifice? They just did Sacrifice, isn't it? Whatever the fuck's coming up, and they're going to have the match, and the winner's going to be the Unified, whatever. Right? The chant. They didn't even give it that name, but he says the winner of that is going to take on at the next one Kenny Omega, AEW champion, in a title versus title match. Now, the caveat to that, too, is at the end, right? They cut out of that. Scott D'Amore walks off all pissed off, and they cut to Don Imus here. He's on the phone. He's like, hey, Kenny, I just watched it. Yeah, it went down just like we planned. It's like, all right. And they hang up and go to black. So where are we going here? We're going to get Kenny Omega versus who? You think it's Moose or Rich Swann? I hope it's not Rich Swann for the fucking life of me. I don't like that guy at all. Moose is not bad, but Rich Swann, oh God, I don't want to watch any of that. So where do you think this is going, Tom?
So one thing that dawned on me as I read the Twitter comments about the Impact news is that Moose isn't Canadian, and that's fucking dumb because all Moose are Canadian. So that's a misstep by his name. So that's right. One. So I don't want him to face.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Plot
I don't want
hole.
him. Yeah, definitely a plot hole. So I don't want him to face Kenny Omega for that reason. Now, Rich Swann would make the most logical sense because they already had a match where Rich Swann and Kenny Omega were in the match together. So they have the history, more recent history of Impact champion versus champion. I think, though, this has nothing to do with Impact Wrestling. I think this has everything to do with Kenny Omega. I think, and I'm not the first one to say it, so I'm not going to act as if I'm, a prognosticator over here, but I think this is all leading to Kenny Omega, the belt collector, taking on the double champ, now unified champ over New Japan Pro Wrestling, his former Golden Lover, and they do champion versus champion there.
Champ versus champ.
Right. Now they unified the Intercontinental and Heavyweight Championship over in New Japan, so it's just one belt, but Kota Ibushi is their heavyweight champion. They obviously have the relationship, Kenny Omega and him. So I think Impact is honestly just a speed bump. How they get the title off of Kenny Omega after whatever they're wanting to do, I have no idea. But I think it's going to be Rich Swann to answer your question. And I think the Good Brothers I think what they're going to do is they're going to turn the Good Brothers into a 2021 version of RVD and ECW, where RVD was Mr. Monday Night and I'm wearing the WWE Raw shirt and I'm the Raw guy. I think the Good Brothers are going to be in Impact, but our best friends are over in AEW. Look at AEW, and they're heels by just saying this promotion sucks.
Great. I'm not looking forward to much of that.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting on paper. If you say every championship, every major championship is on the line, every major championship outside of WWE is on the line in a champion versus champion match. That's kind of cool. It just happens to be that these guys are dorks, but it is still pretty cool. I like that they made some headwaves in a very busy week of wrestling. So credit to Impact Wrestling for at least still giving us something to talk about after an episode of Impact. So credit to them.
Okay.